Today I'm taking the mysterious pie roulette wheel for a spin, and where it stops, oh, no one knows. No one knows. Hi everyone, welcome back to my home and to Vintage Pie Roulette. We're so back. Sonny, bring that wheel. You're a champ. Thank you, Sonny. So just let me explain this to you like you're 5, because this is the second time that I'm doing this, so we don't need a grand introduction. Get on with it. On this wheel, it's full of vintage pies, and I don't know what most of them are. I just selected them based on if they had an interesting name to them, or I was just morbidly curious. Last time we did this, the wheel landed on eggnog pie, green tomato pie, minced cream cheese pie, and I had no choice but to make all 3 of them, and gotta say, I was delighted, mostly. So I removed those 3 pies from the wheel, added 3 new pies to this, and there was another one that also got the cut because it was called mocha nog pie, and I already made an eggnog pie, so I was like, okay, well, that's gotta go too. I'm just going to quickly go over these because I've mentioned a lot of these in the previous episode. If they're new, I'll just call them out, but here we go. Ricotta cheese pie, vinegar pie, that's a newly added one. Vinegar pie, dream pie, Ohio cheese pie, newly added, and that sounds very intriguing to me. Carrot pie, okay. Maple gelatin chiffon pie. One day I'll figure out what chiffon means. I read it, but then I forgot. Cottleston pie, for all the diehard Winnie the Pooh fans out there. If you know, you know. I'm not diehard, but I'm a fan. Ritz mock apple pie. Can I land on that, please? Pineapple volcano pie. Based on all the comments from the last time, this seems to be a fan favorite. Everyone wants to know what this one's about, and so do I. So I'm rooting for the pineapple volcano pie. Funeral pie, kind of sad, isn't it? Avocado orange chiffon pie. Coffee and cognac pie. Chess pie. Black bottom pie. It'd be very easy to rig this thing. Just with like the spins, of course, but also I could cut the camera. I could land where I want to land, you know. I'm not gonna do any of that because I'm not a cheater. So what's gonna happen here is I'm gonna keep the cameras rolling. I'm gonna spin this sucker 3 times. We'll see what we got. I think that's fair. You're seeing what I'm seeing, and what I'm seeing is what you're seeing. Okay. This is where the fun begins. Hold on to something. Here we go. Ouch. Vinegar pie. Vinegar pie. I wanted that one, clearly. I cut my finger when it's okay. I'll be okay. Pineapple volcano pie. It's happening. It's happening. It's happening. Call your friends. And next up, ricotta cheese pie. That one, okay. The wheel has spoken. Starting off with vinegar pie. And we're moving right along to pineapple volcano pie. Lastly, ricotta cheese pie. Of course, I don't have any of the ingredients, so I gotta go to the store, and you can come with. If you'd like, I'm kind of bringing you with me. This episode is sponsored by Made In. So if you've been watching my channel for any amount of time, you know I love cooking out of my made-in cookware. I'd say it's the perfect match for my reckless, abandoned style of cooking. Does the job well, stays out of my way, and that's why I keep using it. Because Made In designs professional quality cookware for home cooks, and it's the same cookware used by real chefs in over 2,000 top-rated restaurants, but also used by 1.4 million home cooks. You know, I was just watching the show The Bear, and even those guys were cooking out of Made In pans. Huh. What I'm always using is their stainless clad collection. It's coating free, it's non-reactive, it's made with 5-ply stainless steel for even heating, great heat retention, and real control while you cook. Crafted in Italy and the US, and their handles always stay cool. They're also nicely balanced, and you can take them straight from the stovetop to the oven. Right now, Made In is offering 30% off during their winter savings event. You can check out their stainless clad collection as well as my other favorite cookware from Made In using the link in the description. Thank you, Made In. Starting right off with Vinegar Pie. Aren't you just as curious as I am? I was first thinking this would be like a Great Depression type of dish, and it was popular during that time. It actually comes before then, during the 19th century. It does come from a place of desperation when ingredients were scarce. You didn't have fresh fruit, so you would find a clever workaround like vinegar. It's gonna add that freshness, the brightness perhaps. With the acid, I'm thinking like a lemon pie sort of thing. But at the same time, it says you need cider vinegar, which I interpret as apple cider vinegar. Apples. All right, and the recipe for this vinegar pie is in this cookbook called Farm Journal's Complete Pie Cookbook. Flaky pastry for 1 crust pie. Traditional method. 1 cup of sifted flour, half a teaspoon of salt, give that a whisk, 1/3 cup of chilled lard, pastry cutter, cut that in. Consistency of a coarse cornmeal, not necessarily, but it's cut together, a lot of loose pieces. I think I need to stop what I'm doing and start adding water. 2 to 2.5 tablespoons of cold water. Add a little into the dry area, stir with a fork. This dough should be just moist enough to hold together without being sticky. And chill this for half an hour. After half an hour, this is the part I dread, rolling out my firmed up dough. And here's the dealio, okay? I'm not really in the mood to be trifled with, taking no prisoners today. If this does not work, and oftentimes it does not, I have options. I don't want it to come to that. So it was chilling for half an hour, yes. But also I took it out of the fridge and had it hang in room temperature for the last 10 minutes or so. This is working out great. When it comes to the circular shape of your pie crust, I think that's something I have to work on. It's 1/8 of an inch thick pie crust. Not too many problems this time around. Kind of snip some of these sides here so that it looks nice. And then I'm gonna do a crimp. So lifting underneath the pie crust with my thumb, and then these 2 fingers can just go, wow. That is terrible, man. It's not a perfect method, but it works. I'll take it, I'll take it, I'll take it. Prick the bottom of the dough every half an inch or so with the fork. So I'm gonna chill this for another half an hour. After 30 minutes, the book doesn't say this, but I'm gonna get a pie weight in there. So line it with tin foil, pie weight. Position the tin foil so it's not up against my crimp. I don't wanna lose that crimp. Nothing worse than a pie shell that starts shrinking. No, don't like it. So I'm gonna blind bake it. I think that's gonna be the safe method here. Super hot oven, 450 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, so after 15 minutes, this thing is looking nice on the sides. But underneath the pie weight, just as I suspected, the crust is pale. So then I get this protective shield around the edges. Back in it goes for another 5 minutes. That'll work. My crimping, it kind of vanishes yet again, but I'm okay with it. The golden brown is ideal for me. Some would say I pushed it too far. I would say just right. It's got to be fully baked before you add the filling. Speaking of the filling, saucepan full of some water, bring it up to a simmer. Bowl, thank you. Got to create that double boiler so that the simmering water is not touching the base of that bowl. Great. In goes 3 egg yolks and start whisking. Then in goes a cup of sugar, 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Okay, you're kind of vague with the instructions. I'll just keep it stirring for a minute here. 1 3/4 cups of boiling water. Gradually add that in, stirring constantly.
And done. Great. Quarter cup of cold water. I'm gonna add in a quarter cup of apple cider vinegar. Into that, I'm gonna dissolve a quarter cup of cornstarch. I could have done this beforehand, but I chose not to. With this cool ass whisk, I'm gonna just dissolve it. Come on. That concoction goes into this other one. My mistake, but the water needs to be boiling in this double boiler. And I gotta stir it constantly for 12 minutes until it's thick and smooth. Thickened and smooth, that looks good. Okay, remember that whole thing I said about how this may taste like a lemon pie? This didn't dawn on me at first, but now I'm adding in a teaspoon of lemon extract, which kind of feels like I'm cheating a little bit. I'd like to know what this tastes like prior to adding that. That already tastes like lemon pie. Teaspoon of lemon extract into something that already kind of tastes like lemon. Stir that in. So while this thing is still hot, it says to pour it into the pie shell. Put that off to the side. It needs to cool to lukewarm. Another bowl. Perfect. I need to make a meringue. So I have 3 egg whites, quarter teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of vanilla, quarter teaspoon of cream of tartar. Punch it until frothy. Adding in half a cup of sugar, a little at a time. You gotta beat it well after each addition. Do not underbeat. Keep it beating until stiff peaks. Stiff peaks, stiff peaks. Place spoonfuls of meringue around the edge of the pie filling. Okay, there you go. And then you seal around the edges, and that's gonna prevent shrinkage. And then it says pile the rest of the meringue in the center. Connect it to the outer edge. There we go. Are we making lemon meringue pie, but with vinegar? A vinegar meringue pie with the taste of... And lift the meringue over the pie with the back of a teaspoon. What does that mean? I get it. So I gotta create those peaks on a meringue pie. Press down with the spoon and then lift up. There we go. This has to go back into the oven, but I feel the crust around the edge is too browned, so I'm gonna put that on. That should protect it. It needs to go in a 350-degree oven for 12 to 15 minutes until the meringue starts turning brown. Good luck to you. That's beautiful. I believe I'm ready for pie number 2. Another one that I'm very stoked about. Volcanoes. Pineapples. Pineapple volcano chiffon pie. What the heck is that? That is coming from the Canadian Family Cookbook. And then the chiffon. What the heck does that mean exactly? I had to look it up. Usually means a no-bake or barely baked filling, thickened with gelatin, folded with egg whites, served cold, and has a very soft texture. So this volcano pie will not be molten lava. I don't know what the hell is. Okay, let's move on. This has a completely different pie crust than the other pies that we're working with today. It's a graham cracker crust. And graham crackers, very common in Canada, but when I was living in Belgium, I couldn't find them anywhere. So when I had to make a pie like this, for like a cheesecake or something, I had to use speculoos, like the Lotus cookies. And that's a story for another day, but it was divine. 1 1/3 cup graham crackers should be around 16 to 18. But I'll just make more than enough because why not? So this is what I gotta do. Because I've done something like this before, I know that if I just throw them in a Ziploc bag, you beat the hell out of them, then you will achieve what you're after. Hi-ya! From crackers to crumbs. Bowl me. Thank you. 1 cup plus 1/3. Quarter cup of sugar, quarter cup of softened butter. Woo! All right, so with my pastry blender, blend it together. In your pie dish. The flavor of this is gonna be like a toasty, nutty, buttery. What's not to like? At the back of a spoon, just spreading this evenly along the base and the sides of the pan. Level the edges. Bake that for like 8 minutes, 375-degree oven. So I'm gonna need another double boiler. Thank you. 2 packs of gelatin. Whoops, not the packet. 1/4 cup of sugar. Quick hoot of salt. 1/2 cup of water. 3 egg yolks. Fork beaten. So what I gotta do here is I have canned crushed pineapple. This is 20 ounces worth, 591 milliliters. Liquid ale, that goes in with the egg yolks and the water. Stir that together, and then I gotta thoroughly heat it and cook it for 5 minutes. Stir that, what the hell am I making here? I gotta dissolve the gelatin, cook those egg yolks, so then I can remove it from the heat. 1/4 teaspoon of lemon rind, tablespoon of lemon juice. Chill the mixture until it mounds slightly when dropped from a spoon. Okay, so does this drip from the spoon when I... No, it's not, it's gelatinous. So, my mistake. All right, so I have egg whites and sugar and bull meat. I'll get it, don't worry about it. It's just easier that way. 3 egg whites. I beat that until it's frothy. Gradually add in a 1/4 cup of sugar. Gradual. Until stiff peaks are formed. Fold those into the gelatinous thing. The thing in the fridge was just too thick for those stiff peaks, so it is a bit heavier than I was hoping for a chiffon pie. I think if I just break in the rules a little bit, but I think this will... So let me get the graham cracker crust over here and spoon in the mix. Fits like a glove, quite honestly. I'm gonna chill it one last time. Should be completely set. Now I need to garnish this pie with generous mounds of the dessert topping, which frozen dessert topping, thawed, or a whipped dessert topping. That's all it's saying. Cool Whips. Garnish pie with generous mounds of the dessert topping. Am I spreading it out, or is it just mounds like that? Garnish pie with generous mounds of the dessert topping, which I did. Spoon on remaining crushed pineapple to resemble volcano. To garnish pie with generous mounds of the dessert topping. Done. Spoon on remaining crushed pineapple to resemble volcano. So then I have to spoon on... I'm just making areas that I can plop down the... This is gotta... Think of your vision, apply it to the pie. I think if I just prepare these mounds, so what it says to do is take your remaining pineapple, which I just had another can, and I drained it so there's none of the juice, because I think the juice would be too messy, into the little wells that I've made on the mound. You pile them up. How about that? That's my interpretation of this weird retro recipe. So we're moving right along to the final pie of the day. It is ricotta cheese pie from the Joy of Cooking cookbook. This North Italian delight. Cheesecake crust with cognac, interesting, should accompany this. So cheesecake crust, how about a cheese pie crust with cognac? I gotta make that. Let me do it now. I may have already, but let me pretend like I'm about to do it right now. So I got 2 cups of sifted flour and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, also sifted up in there. So I need 1/2 cup of butter that is 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Now this one is just under, this one is too cold. So it's a bit of a Goldilocks situation. I'm gonna use the one that's closer, which is around 66 degrees Fahrenheit. So using that old pastry cutter, I'm gonna break up the butter. Some of the flour bits can look like peas, but the rest can look like coarse cornmeal. Check it out. Instead of water in this pie crust, cognac. 1.5 to 2 tablespoons worth. Like a pirate. Sorry, tablespoon to start. With a fork, toss it together. Never seen such a thing in a pie crust, but consider me on board.
tablespoon and a half of cold water. Add in a little, see if that starts coming together because the cognac wasn't happening. I'm not looking for a smooth or sticky dough, but this does come together. I added a little more liquid than I originally intended. Get it into disc shape. I'm gonna chill this for half an hour.
Where's my nice pie dish? I would be upset if this doesn't turn out because oftentimes when I roll them out, they don't. Now this has been hanging out on the counter for the last 10 minutes or so, so it's not chilled as it once was when it was in the fridge. But I gotta say, if it does not turn out, it would be a shame because of the cognac, but I do have options. The way this is looking now, it should work out just fine. This is a lot of pie dough, but it is for a 10-inch pie, and I have a 9-inch pie dish, so it's cool. It's cool to have extras. Well, that is pretty sexy. Gotta say, that worked out swimmingly. I think I really like the look of that. I'm gonna keep this in the fridge until I need it. For the filling part, can I have the bowl? Thank you, that should be the right size. What I need first of all is 1.5 pounds of ricotta cheese. This needs to have hung out on the counter for a bit so that it's not just super chilled. That's 1 pound. And in with the ricotta, 2 tablespoons of chopped blanched almonds. I did go ahead and toast these pine nuts already, cut to the footage just for proof. So this is 3 tablespoons of toasted pine nuts. Completely just kind of oblivious to this one. I had to look it up. 2 tablespoons of chopped citron, which, you know, citron, lemon, orange, citrus, whatever. But I looked it up and it's not just like the skin of a citrus fruit, it's also candied. So that's what this is here. I only need 2 tablespoons, so I have made an investment into this stuff that I will never ever use again. But, you know, the show has led me into all sorts of different directions, so you never really know. And this specifically is lemon and orange peel. That has been candied. And it's already chopped up, but I'm just giving it an extra chop. My guess was correct. That was exactly 2 tablespoons. Once that is nicely combined, I just need a dusting of flour on top. I'm just gonna leave that for a minute. Can I have a bowl? Thank you. Accidentally broke an egg on the counter. I'm just gonna leave it there. I also broke one on the ground. So I need 4 eggs. Bad day for eggs. Beat the eggs until they're light and lemony. Gradually adding in a cup of sugar. As well as a teaspoon and a half of vanilla extract. Terrific. So it says to add the cheese mixture into the eggs, but I'm gonna do vice versa. Mainly so that we're working in the glass bowl so everyone can see. It says until it's well blended, but I think I'll just, since it's here. There you go. Until well, blah, blah, blah. Pour this into the pie shell. To err on the side of caution here, because this is supposed to be for a 10-inch pie and this is a 9-incher, it removes some of the filling, just a little of it, just to cover my ass. So the oven's at 375 Fahrenheit. I gotta bake this for 40 minutes or until it's done. Okay, good luck. 40 minutes, this thing is looking good. So shaking it, the edges stay in place and the center's jiggling. I think it's done. The recipe stops here. You're good to go with this pie. I was thinking, let's kind of pretty it up a little bit. So with a little forethought, I reserved some of the toasted pine nuts. I'll just place those into the center. It is time. Make way for the pineapple volcano and of course the vinegar pie, which it was kind of an emergency. I already had to deal with it, so we'll get into that shortly, but just pretend that that's as good as new along with the other 2. Order up! Oh boy. Ah! So first of all, this pie was hanging out on the counter while I was prepping the other pies. Bonehead move, because the meringue softened. There was no crispiness to it. What I should have done is have the filling in the pie crust chilling, and then when I was ready to serve it, like 12 minutes before, meringue goes on top, bake it, then eat. Didn't think of that. At the same time, the pie crust has become a bit soft as well. It's flaky, but it doesn't have any integrity or any crisp. So you can't cut a slice. You simply cannot. That all being said, this pie rocks. Well, I mean, minus those things. I can't talk to you while this mess is in front of me. This is the meringue. I peeled it off the pie so that I can enjoy it later because the meringue's no good. If I had this blindfolded, someone's like, hey, what are you eating? Lemon pie. Lemon extract was added to it, yes. That helped with the lemon flavor, but at the same time it tasted like lemons prior to adding that. So, it is a beautiful, wonderful thing. Human ingenuity, isn't it? When it's used correctly. If I wasn't doing a pie roulette and I made this thing properly, just one pie, focused on it, did it right, it would have been a beautiful thing, but now I can only dream. Incoming volcano. Up. That one to me is a prime example of the name of the dish being way more exciting than the actual dish. The pie is good, but I feel like that was just a very fancy way of serving canned crushed pineapple with Cool Whip with a glorious crust of graham crackers. So I am slightly disappointed with that one because I was expecting fireworks or lava or just volcano, but I didn't get any of that. I just got pineapple. Good, but underwhelming. Maybe the ricotta cheese pie will make up for it. I think you're gonna have to take this one out. That's like looking raw to me. Oh dear. Oh dear. The pie shell was completely underbaked underneath, like to the extreme that I had to stop eating it because I was like, okay, well, this isn't very good. But the crust at the top was really nice, so I was able to taste the cognac in that. The filling itself is like mild, milky sweetness to it also. And then nice textures going on with the added nuts and the occasional little citrus pop, I guess you could say. I'll say. If I'm gonna rank these pies from worst to best, my least favorite of the day, I just feel like I was a bit bamboozled by the title of it, Pineapple Volcano. Yeah, if you're gonna call something Pineapple Volcano, you really gotta deliver, and I just don't think it does. Still good, but that title is a problem. Next up is the ricotta cheese pie. The filling is especially great, but I mean, my version of it, the crust is completely soggy underneath. If we just did a blind bake like I did with the vinegar pie, I think that would set it apart, but we didn't. So we got the vinegar pie, which was my absolute favorite today. Amazing things that can be done with vinegar. You know, you can sanitize things and you can turn it into a lemon flavor. I loved it. Couple little hiccups with that one also, but that's just the way it goes in this kitchen. That's it. That's all. This was Vintage Pie Roulette number 2. Bon appetit.